Coming up on the round 12 100K Sunday roast, where we celebrate the winners, roast the losers, and give you all the best odds of the bets we weren't on, but we wish we were. Jev, how are you?
The Swans are fucking shit I am filthy, and you'll hear it in this pod. The Hawks, Melbourne couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. They missed everything, and the Giants stole one. Listen to the roast. We didn't make it to the Geelong game because it's too bloody late. Bugger the Swans off. Bugger Dean Cox off. It's a good pod. Listen, like, subscribe at 100K Sports, wherever you listen.
And now, 100K Sports and PointsBet presents the Sunday Roast.
We are gathered here today for the funeral of the Sydney Swans 2025 season. And Dean Cox is coaching. Welcome back to the Sunday Roast. It's the round 12 edition. The show that celebrates the winners and king roasts the losers.
Oh, yeah.
Gives you all the best bets of the, what do I say? All the best odds of the bets you weren't on but wish you were. Joining me as always, Darcy Valentine. How are you, brother?
Jev, I'm great. I'm good. The biggest winner of this week is Carlton. The biggest winner, because we don't have to talk to them.
Not playing this week is the win.
I've had about 4 people come up to me, they're like, you shouted the Blues aren't playing this week? I said, I swear to God, I am so happy they're not. I'm sick of them. Me and Carlton are on a break. As I'm sure a lot of Carlton supporters, I'm like, I watch every week. We're dog's guts. It's shit footy to watch. And like, I don't know where we're going. We need probably 2 weeks off. Yep. I've absolutely, to be fair, it hasn't been the best round, but when your side's going shit, to put them on the back burner and you can watch other teams play shit, It is awesome, Jev.
Yep.
And I had no idea that you were going to open up the show like that, but I can't wait to get into that game. I actually can't wait to get into all of them, but that was an absolute, as you said, they got the belt. The Swans got the absolute belt.
Belt to us.
I can't wait to get into it, but Jev, we may as well start with Thursday night. First thing I do want to say, what a game from the Bombers.
Yep.
What an absolute crack. Like when we look at how they played against the Bulldogs on that Saturday night a few weeks ago, was as weak a performance as I've ever seen. And on the weekend, they turned it around. The Lions got the jump on them, 30-something points up at like quarter time, and they clawed it back. And it almost looked like a team like Brisbane. It's like, look, we'll eventually get it done. But they stopped doing the little things. They stopped trying to put the smothers on, the blocks, and the Bombers were going a little bit harder. Jai Caldwell had a massive, I think, third quarter it was, the 18 touches, but it wasn't enough for our man, Jev. Hugh McLean with it. Hugh McRacks him up. Hugh McGets it done. What a performance, Jev, in the wet. 41 touches. He's cleaner than your dry cleaning from the brown goose in Chelsea. That's how clean this bloke is. It was a dirty night. The Lions got it done, but I just couldn't believe how clean McCluggage was in the last quarter. There was 2 or 3 front centers he got it, and 2 or 3 one-touch handballs straight to his teammates. He was awesome. He was the difference in the game. They couldn't stop him. Brisbane get a really good win at home. They just had to get it done. And I guarantee so many of those Brisbane's assholes would have been tight as just watching, like, oh no, we can't lose to the Bombers. And when you look over the stats over the last, I think, 5-6 times they've played, the Bombers actually match up pretty well against them. Yeah. They've got them, I think, 2 or 3 times in the last maybe 5 years up on the Gabba, where not too many teams do. So Nate Caddy kicked an unbelievable goal. He missed an absolute soda, which sort of made up for it. But if anyone's ever tried to kick a goal like that over your head, the amount of purchase that he got that on that ball went like 40 meters in the air. So he's super talented. That's what you hang your hat on if you're a Bombers fan. I hate the Bombers almost more than anyone. Same as you, but that was awesome. I watched that and I'm like, I could get around this brand of footy. So well done. They just got it done, didn't they?
Yeah, the Lions get it done by 18 points. I was so impressed with the Bombers. Like, so impressed. They went with no tall timber at all, except like they obviously had Caddy, the Undertaker, Todd Goldstein. They still had Peter Wright. Not much in the back line. Brad Scott said before the game on Fox Footy, he's like, we're confident. We're here to win. We're going to play a little bit different. We're going to throw some different things at them. We've got a game plan we think is going to give us a chance. 32 points a quarter time. You're like, oh, this is ugly. Ugly. Got it back to 25 at halftime. Then they hit the front in the last quarter. They were 71-70 up. I couldn't believe it. It was just so exciting. It was Jai Caldwell and it was just Nate Caddy was just too athletic for Harris Andrews. He was playing off his back shoulder like you have to do with Harris Andrews, and he was flying around, flying at the footy, kicking snags, making shit happen. It was so impressive to watch. And yeah, probably didn't have the experience or maybe they just never thought they'd be in the position of actually winning the game. And Lions at the Gabba dug in. Lockie Neal, as you said, Hugh McCluggage was unbelievable. They just got it done. They, ran over the top a bit. But, yeah, it was bloody impressive by the Bombers. I can't roast them at all. I thought they were great. Thought the Lions were good enough. The Lions definitely need to be better. I know where they are on the ladder and how well they're going, but I reckon there's 4 teams, playing better footy than them. So they've set themselves up well, and they know what it's, you have to get it right at the right time of the year, not now. So, yeah, they're doing what they got to do, but fuck, I was so impressed with the Bombers.
I feel from number 2 to maybe number 9 on the ladder, it's anyone on their day. There's only one team, and they're like a 3-game clear better side, which is the Pies. Like, they've been unbelievable. And then Brisbane are probably second still, but they lost to Melbourne at home. They had a bit of a scare against the Bombers. Now, I just want to touch on Jev. So Dope Thursday, so we lost. But I just want to say, so Morgs is thinking about bringing a segment maybe next week, and we might have to go to the court. I can't remember what he's going to call it, but is it our fault for putting the bet on? So let's have a look at the stats. Let's look how it played out. I had McCluggage for 20, Ashcroft for 20. Tick, tick.
Yeah.
Then we have Charlie Cameron. So he kicks a goal in the first 4 or 5 minutes, got a free kick, 50-metre, kicks one from the goal square. Beautiful. You even matched Dobe, you're on. The bet's looking awesome. McCluggage just getting it. Then we've got Zach Bailey, who should have finished off 2 easy set shots, had 20 touches, kicked 2 points, was playing up the ground a little bit more. Is that my fault? Maybe. They were some sodas. But then Charlie Cameron doesn't go near it for the rest of the game.
Yep.
When you're a pressuring small forward, he's toys out of the cot when he doesn't get the footy.
Yeah.
Like, he was a 5-minute flash in the pan against the Hawks. He's been so down on form. Like, he's so frustrating to bet on. So, I don't know. Maybe that's my fault for having a little bit of hope on him. But he has been horrible. He wasn't chasing. He wasn't tackling. He was throwing his arms up in the air. He kept getting angry because they kept kicking to Logan Morris.
Yeah.
Well, what did Logan Morris kick? Like 2 goals, 3? Yeah, but he presents. He's a bloody good player, Jev. And it's amazing where it just so happened that he was playing the VFL game. They need an extra player. Played in Will Ashcroft's boots. There were 2 sizes too small. A gut full of McDonald's. And he hasn't left the side.
Yeah.
Like, he's awesome. He's only a young kid. So he stood up for him. But, yeah, massive roast for Charlie Cameron. Like, awesome guy. We met him. He's a really good guy. But your performances this year have been horrible, especially when I've been betting on him. Again, not your fault, probably my fault, but clean it up a touch, sir.
We finally welcomed Kai Lohman to the 2025 season, Das.
Oh, yes.
About time. He kicks his first goal of the season. He kicks 3. He hurt his ankle again, and we're just like, not again, but it looks like maybe a little jab, maybe a retaping. He was good to go. But that's the Kai Lohman that we saw grand final day. Like, that is the dangerous. You never know where he is. I don't know if you saw Kane Cornes interviewing before the game. He was standing there next to Logan Morris. He looks like he's nearly the same fucking height as Logan Morris and bigger than Kane Cornes. He's a pretty big dude, Kai Lohman. So he just looks like a small forward, but I was impressed how big he was. So finally he welcomes. McCluggage was awesome. He should be All-Australian right now. And just Caldwell. Caldwell, they put Josh Dunkley on him in the 4th and just slowed him down. That was a big third quarter. What were the numbers again? 18 touches. He had an unbelievable amount of clearances. I've just got his stats up here.
Yeah, 18
he ended up with 30.
18 and a snag, I'm almost certain. And
15 contested possessions.
13 clearances.
10 clearances, 4 centre clearances. He was just on fire, wasn't he? So they put Dunkley to him.
Can we give some love to Nick Martin playing out of his skin at the moment?
Yes. What role is he playing? Does he play in the wing? Does he play half forward? Does he play half back? Is he just a floater?
The start of every game, it's like he kicks a goal in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He gets himself going, and then he sort of just patrols up and down the ground wherever they need him. But he's one of the best finishers in their side. Like, Gresham's too worried about his eyebrows rather than actually kicking snags. Like, he's just all over the shop, the Gresh. So I'm not a big rap for him, but can we please rip into Jack Rewalt? He is he's unlistenable. If he doesn't have his 3-piece suit on, he's just talking shit. Yep. He's so bad. He says like insipid. What's the word? I don't even know what word he says. He says like a million times a game, and he just does my rock in.
Do you ever watch Channel 7 on Thursday nights with Corns and BT? I never do. Maybe I'm going to start switching over.
Yeah, I might.
But we'll give it a go next week. We'll give it a go.
Yeah, we actually should. Like, Corns and BT would be great.
I love corn. So anyway, you got some odds for us?
Yeah, I do. So Kyle Lohman for 3 was $5.75. We had every single piece of that. Logan Morris still short at $1.67. Caddy for 2 was $3.30. Peter Wright for 2 was $2.50. Nick Martin for 2 was $4.20. And for singles, so Darcy Wilmot kicked a snag at $4.40. This guy's one of my favorite players in the AFL, Jeff. Jasper Fletcher's a freak.
Yep.
He kicks so many snags, the halfback line.
He doesn't turn it over.
Nah, he's perfect with the ball. So he kicked a snag as well at $3.70. Answorth kicked one, which was $6.50. And then for touches, Hugh McCluggage had 41. You could only get him for 35, which is an absolute piss take. So that was $11. Jai Caldwell for 30 was $5.50. And Will Ashcroft for 30 was $2.65. And then a heap of guys for 25 are only between $1.60, $1.80. The only other good one, Mason Redmond had 25 at $2.15 and Jared Berry had 25 at $3.80. So there's a lot of the other midfielders that are getting touches. But yeah, we're pretty stiff on this game as far as multis went, Jeff. But there was some good scoring.
Let's get into the next game. Friday night footy. The Pies absolutely dog walk the Hawks. Fucking pumped them. 51 points. I absolutely loved it because I hate the Hawks. I think they're so bang on average. It just doesn't go as well because the Swans are shit, so they just come back to me. But anyway, talk to me about this game.
Yeah, what's your saying? Belt to arse?
Belt to arse.
Because that is exactly what they gave him. This was genuinely embarrassing. I almost went to turn it off like in the third quarter. The Hawks couldn't move the ball. 51 points. So I've seen enough of a sample size now over 2 years. And I think it's time that like this, it's not even a take. It's just like right in the stones. So no Will Day, no Hawks.
Yeah.
They were zipping 5 last year. He comes back, they make the finals. They lose him, they miss out on the final against Port. He starts to the year, when Will Day was playing, they were 4-0 and practically almost had, like you could say he probably had 9 to 10 Brownlow votes. He had 3 and 26 against the Swans, a bit more of a quieter game against the Dons. He had a goal early and 16 touches when it mattered, 26 against the Blues, and then against the Giants down at Hobart where it was absolutely blowing. He had 24 touches, 1 goal, 3, where he kicked that goal from like 60.
Yep.
He is unbelievable. And I guarantee, like whatever his timeline is, I'm waiting for him to then come back in the side and then I'll start betting on the Hawks again.
Yeah.
Like they look lost without him. And credit to Jack Ginnivan. He stood up and just played the exact game that we all hoped he would. Like Morgs put out that stat for us. It's like he had 2 goals, 31 touches. Will he get anywhere close to this again?
Well, I've got a little theory on this, but yeah, go.
He had 31 touches and 3 goals. So Morgs is pretty much bang on. He had the exact same stat line, but what I think their overall team rating, pressure rating, was 155, which is their 3rd lowest ever recorded.
Yeah.
Like this is 3 weeks in a row that you've had multiple guys like barely get a tackle, put on a smother. And they're just getting absolutely pieced up. It was a shocking game. And then, we'll get into more credit after you chat, but the Pies were just like brilliant. Like that was champagne football.
Yeah, so let's stay in the Hawks. So do you remember, what was his name? Lewis Taylor, when he won the Rising Star, right?
Mm.
And then the next year, there was that footage of Bevo and the Dogs. And Bailey, I think it was Bailey Dale, went up and manned up on him, saw it was Louis Taylor and just left him on his own. And he was just racking up footy, but only kicking at 15 metres, doing it nothing. I dead set think Craig McRae did that to Jack Ginnivan on Friday night. Just put no one near him, didn't give a fuck when he got the ball, reckons he has no impact on the game because it beat him by 51 points. Like it just didn't matter. He just thought there is not a chance in hell he's going to have enough damage to win this game. Have as many as you want, Jack. Have your 3, have your 31 touches. It means fucking nothing because we are pumping you. And Ginnivan said it, I don't know if you saw that interview where he's like, the disrespect, no one plays on me, no one comes to me. Like Craig McRae just goes, we do not need a man up on Jack Ginnivan at all. Just do not worry about him. So I'm happy for Jack and his stat line, but it must not equal winning in the slightest because Isaac Quainer had his best game. Josh Dacos was a bit quieter. Who else played well? Dan Houston looked like he played better. These were probably all Jack Ginnivan's opponents. They're like, yeah, good on you, Jack. Happy for you, mate. We are killing you. So I just find this one a bit weird. And then the other one is Nick Watson. Where and what the hell is going on with Nick Watson?
Who knows?
Me personally, I could see this coming when you draft a small forward at pick 5. Like you've built around him. You said your premiership, you've got your premiership team. Here's the icing on the cake, a small forward, and you put him in. He was going to get subbed off. That was fucked. This needs to be. If he got subbed off, I reckon his confidence would have gone into the tank, like the absolute tank. And then I'm looking. So Cam McKenzie's getting dropped. The midfielder they took in the top 10 the year before. So now that's a bust. They haven't taken Riley Sanders. They haven't taken Nate Caddy. They've taken a small forward at pick 5. Josh Ward's okay. Jai Newcomb's overrated. He's going out of my pyramid. And Will Day doesn't play. And Dylan Moore's overrated. And James Sicily doesn't get the ball anymore. So what's going on here? What has happened here? Did they overrate their talent, overrate their list?
They're just, and especially it's hard when you are playing that position because it's a big ball movement thing. When the ball moves quick and it can come in, you can give them a chance and it's dangerous, it's good. But that's one thing. But when you're not putting on pressure, like he came up the ground, got a handball early, one kick. He actually had one or two nice kicks. Like, all right, let's go. Let's see the ball movement coming. But it's like when we went to go watch his first game, and it's like he's just trapped down there. I'm like, can you get him into the game? You know what really annoys me with him? You know, players that just want the footy. If he's come up the ground and he runs back towards 50, I never see him tick lead back up.
Yeah, he's just running. Yep.
He's just sort of like running and like, where's the ball going now? I'm like, come back at the footy. Like, try and make a play. They had too many people in that side that were just real happy with how they were going. Even in the pregame, no, we're feeling good. The boys are ready. It's another big-time game. Well, you've had a few big-time games, and it's been pretty big letdowns. Yeah. A lot of guys are just fumbling the footy. They just don't have those guys that are able to get the ball. Actually, at the start, their ball movement looked like they had the plan, didn't they? They're going to run straight through the middle. Yeah. And they were going end-to-end. Like, this is good. And then they just went away from it. It's like they were buggered. They couldn't play to the Pies standard. I'm not sure if you saw what Still Sidebottom said. They're like, what did he say? When he took the 4 bounces, they're like, have you ever taken 4 bounces before? He's like, I haven't. I turned around. I saw Jack chasing me. And he's like, I knew he wouldn't get me. So they just, as you said, so much disrespect to Guinea, to that side. They had the perfect game plan, and you just got to stop Jamie Elliott. He's playing absolute lights out.
Yeah, let's give Collingwood some love. As that medium small forward, he can play every position. He can play deep in the cube. He can come out, take a hanger. He can sit on your head. He can lead up as a full forward, Jason Dunstall style.
He can come back with it.
He's got craft like Jack Higgins. Like, he can pick it up off the ground, snap over his shoulder. He kicks set shots. He is the perfect sort of mid-sized small forward. He is on absolute fire. I saw you said, I sent the group chat before, is Jamie Elliott going to cost Nick Dacos a Brownlow by pinching a few 3 votes off him? And Nick's only getting 2s. He's kicked another 5, had another binder. Nick's walked off with 32 and 1. Like, he's good. He's Nick. He just plays well. It's not like the best of Nick we've seen, but is it still a 3-vote game? I hope so for his sake and all his Brownlow's sake. But Jamie Elliott's their absolute lighter at the moment. He's killing them. Brody Mychek's on fire. Still Sidebottom, still playing. And just as a team at the moment, it is so impressive what they're doing. So impressive.
Some of their clearance work, I think, what was the play? They tapped it down, Pendlebury got it, ran back around, gave it to Steele, and Steele hit that left foot just chiseler, and it just hit, I think it was Lipinski, just like over the top of, I think, was it Weddle or Scrimshaw, just went straight over the top of him, and you're just like, you can't stop that. Yeah. And as a Pies fan, you're just going to be like, this is like, we're in the box seat. Yep. We are in the box seat. Everyone's playing good, but it doesn't feel like they're getting too ahead of themselves because they've won a flag. They've been to a couple of grand finals now. It's like, we know what to do. They're able to rest players. They got DeGoey coming back. But lap it up if you're a Collingwood fan, because how upsetting is it going to be when Steele leaves his side, Pendlebury leaves his side, a couple of old guys, they're just like, we see how quick he can
Ned
go.
Long and Ned Long, Ed Allen, a couple of these guys have found that in the preseason, in the offseason, you and me were roasting. You're like, where the hell are their kids? Like, who are they bringing in? And now they've found some guys. I want to do like gun to your head or $2 either way. Collingwood make the grand final. Collingwood miss the grand final. Where are you having $5,000 cash on right now? Are you all in on this Pies side? Is making the grand final? Because I'm still the slider. I'm not all in. I'm not all chips in. I still think they're beatable. I know no one proves it and no one's seen it. I'm just a little bit out. But I understand they're playing in a prelim on the MCG. So make with that as what you will. But are you all in on the Pies?
Nah, definitely not yet. Again, the age, couple injuries. Look at the playmakers. They're all the older guys. Like Dan Houston hasn't impressed me.
Yeah.
Like I just still think so many guys around the edges, like Bo McQuarrie's still in the side, but he hasn't been lighting it up.
Yeah.
Like Shooter Schultz can go missing. I know he's having a really good pressure year. Like Perryman hasn't lit it up. Like Myercheck, I know he played really good on the weekend, kicked his 4, but he's been quiet. Can Jamie Elliott stay at this level for the entire year?
Yeah.
Like he's keeping them in games and winning them games. Like also, can we give some love to Jeremy Howe?
He's unbelievable, isn't he? They
He's
just rest
honest-
him. They rest him. They must just rest him in the ice bath and the sauna for a couple of weeks. Comes back, just plays well every week.
But no, not yet to go absolutely all in. They probably do play in the grand final, though. They win the first final. They'll get an interstate side maybe at the G.
It'll
Week
be
off.
a Friday night MCG like that GWS one, and it'll be 100,000 Pie supporters there. I'm just not 1,000,000% in, but they are playing in a prelim on the G, so it's going to be hard for them not to win the flag from there. But yeah, I'm just not all in. Anyway, I've got some odds here.
Yeah,
do you want to roast the Hawks anymore? Oh, yeah, I do, actually, for some odds. They're the worst team in the 8 by an absolute mile, right?
I'm going to have a look at the 8 right now.
Look at the 8. So they play so Jack Ginnivan said they had an extended long meeting after the game. Sam Mitchell called them soft. He said, bring your mouthguards to training on Tuesday. So they're having a bring your mouthguard to training night. They're playing the Dogs on Thursday night. I don't know if it's under the lid or not. Let me quickly check.
But how's he was laughing? Like he couldn't help himself.
It was weird, the smirk and the laugh, wasn't it? And he was smirking. He was so they're having to bring your mouthguard to training on Tuesday. They're playing the Dogs on Thursday night at Marvel Stadium. If they lose, they're out of the 8. The Dogs take their spot in the 8.
And then the week after. And then they've got Adelaide.
Then they've got Adelaide at Adelaide. And do Adelaide have a bye next week? So they've got the Dogs off a bye and then go round 13.
No, so Adelaide have...
they play Friday night. They play Friday night at the Lions. Yeah, so that's a sick game.
Cracking games.
That's a cracking, bloody oath. So that's unbelievable. They're having to bring your mouthguard to training on Tuesday, playing on Thursday. If they lose, they're out of the 8. Like they're the worst team in the 8 by an absolute mile. This is a downhill slope. The Dogs are 9th outside looking in with a better percentage than them. So, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. If they miss the 8, how quick does it look from how stupid does taking a small forward at pick 5 look? Anyway, I don't want to be too mean. Anyway, I've got some odds now. Jamie Elliott was $15 for 5. Brody Myercheck was $7.50 for 4. Guinea was $6 for 3. Still Sidebottom was $11 for 2. I swear he's kicked 2 like 4 times this year.
Yeah, he's a gun.
Pat Lipinski was $19 for 2. James Warple, $3.40 for 1. Weddle, $2.50 for 1. Nick Dacos, $1.87 for 1. He was shocked at how much time he had in the forward 50 when he picked up that ball and snapped it in the first quarter. He picked it up, like you could see him sort of get ready for contact, didn't feel it and just composed himself, snapped it like, you champion. Nick was $2.15 for 30, Das. So they must have thought he was getting Finn McGuinness and Connor Nash to him all night. Couldn't get Jack Ginnivan for 30, which annoys me because he had 30 against the Pies last year, but he was 13-1 for 25. Steel Sidebottom was $3 for 25. Josh Ward was $3 for 25. Connor Nash was $9.50 for 25. Ed Allen was $2.60 for 20. And Isaac Quainer was $8 for 20 touches, Das. Not bad at all.
This could be the start of something.
It could be. All right, let's roll on to Saturday, Das. Let's head up to the Gold Coast. Wet weather, football. The Dockers, the longest flight in AFL is going from WA to the Gold Coast. They fly there. It's wet. They got no captain. Andrew Brayshaw, standing captain, and they get it done. This was so impressive, beating the Gold Coast on the Gold Coast. Win by 11 points. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's the thing with the Gold Coast got wrong, Jev. You can't let Freo jump you, which is what they did. And when you've got a couple of really good ball users that you brought into the side. So you've got Rioli, you've got Noble. They're the guys you want using the footy, leaving D50. And you had the pressure was on, and then you had Joel Jeffrey back there. I know the experiment with Joel Jeffrey is like, I know he was a forward at the start and you're trying to play him down back. You're trying to find a role for him in the side. That's fine. But when the pressure's on, you can't have a direct turnover inside your 50 and then they go bang again. So got to give credit to the Suns. They did claw back. It was pissing down. So down by 3 goals at quarter time, slowly got back. But we have to talk about, Jeff. I know you call them the Guinness Dockers because they don't travel well, but we have to start calling them the seesaw Dockers because they're either up or they're either down. So their losses are really bad, but their wins are really good. So let's have a quick look at their losses. So they lost to Geelong round 1 by 78 points. They lost to the Swans by 3. Melbourne, they lost by 10 points when Melbourne were unbelievably shit. They got smashed by St Kilda by 61 points. They lost to Collingwood with half a side by 14 points at home, which was so bad. They're all really bad losses. Maybe not the Swans. That was pretty close. That was actually a nail biter because we went straight to the roast after. But let's have a look at their wins. So West Coast, they win by 38. They should get that. They've beaten the Dogs by 16.
Yeah,
the Tigers by 61. They beat Adelaide by 18. The Giants away by 34. Port Adelaide by 49. And now they're beating the Suns by 11 at the Suns. So their wins are awesome, but their losses are so bad. So they're literally the seesaw Dockers. And that's what is so hard when we watched them versus the Giants the other week. And we're just like, what is this team? I saw them play the Saints the other week and no one wanted to impact. No one wanted to put their head over the ball. Everyone looked like that they were checked out and just rocking up to collect a paycheck. Like, I'm like, what are we doing? And then you see them against the Giants. You see them against the Suns playing, running. Everyone's trying to get involved. Shai Bolton's finally come to the party. He's kicking a few goals every week. He's looking dangerous. He's giving teams headaches. And the fact is, Jeff, they haven't even brought Isaiah Dudley back into the side. Wait till Dudley gets inserted into this team. So it was an awesome win. I reckon Dimmer would be bleeding that they got jumped at the start. You just had some guys that just weren't able to impact as much. Noah Anderson, it feels like he must look at everyone else sometimes and just be like, guys, can we just do a little bit more? But it's just the composure. Sometimes they get the ball and they're moving really well, but they try and move too quick. Yeah. And then that if they take that extra second, they can continue that chain up. But then a few turnovers and Freo are just punishing you on the other end. So I know Dimmer would have been absolutely bleeding watching Shai Bolton at the end. Just he would have known the matchup. And I'm actually really glad, Jev, and we've spoken about this the last 4 weeks, that they're continually putting Will Powell on the opposition's best forward. Yeah. He got done in that last contest. I know Shai kicked 3. He wasn't on him for the whole game. But Will Powell's going to become a game winner in the future for him. Just keep putting him on the best players. He had a really good second half against Nick Watson when he got off the chain, and I feel he wants the contest. So he's still going to be a really good one for them in the future. But yeah, this is a great win by the Dockers. I don't think anyone would have seen him 4 weeks ago beating the Suns at the Suns and then beating GWS away. So they're two awesome scalps.
Yeah, I've got to give them some love. Like they're like maturing, and I'm not just. This is the team we expected in the preseason. Yes. We said the over 12.5 is a lock. You and me were flirting with them winning the minor premiership. We had a little bet on them to win the minor premiership at 15-1. We loved them. We loved their schedule. We loved everything about them. Yeah. They then disappointed us. But like this is them maturing. I was calling them the Guinness Dockers. But you think of it, they're playing in a prelim final weekend. They've made it to a prelim and they're interviewing Andrew Brayshaw on Channel 7 and he goes, it was that loss to St Kilda, then that loss to Collingwood. It changed us. We grew up. We understood what it takes. Then we flew to Sydney and we beat the Giants on their turf. Came back home, won. Then we flew to Gold Coast. We won. Like it feels like they've just matured in front of our eyes. And they're starting to understand it now. They get it now. They know how to travel. They know what it takes to be like a prelim playing premiership sort of side. So it is so impressive. I'm starting to go like, nah, this is the Dock side we expected. I want to come on the journey with them. I'm impressed now. It's going to be until I'm going to go all in. But if they let you down again with an absolute stinker performance, geez, I'll be all out again. Yeah. And in this game, Das. Yeah, so Shai Bolton kicked a goal in the fourth quarter in the pouring rain to put him 20 points up. And it was like, that is a good win. Then the Suns just scratched it back. They got a 50-metre penalty. Sam Flanders kicked that one off the ground. Someone else kicked a goal. Then Mac Andrew had a left foot snap down 6 to make it a draw with about 6 minutes to go. I was saying he missed 5 points, and then they just clanged and banged for the last bit. A miss kicked a goal on the sign, basically. Did you see when Shai Bolton pushed Dan Riol and he kneed Andrew Brayshaw straight in the head? In the middle? Did you see that? Yeah, in the middle. That was so fucked. That was like, what the hell? And I'm like, is anyone getting in trouble? I rewatched it again. And yeah, Shyball just pushes Rioli, trips and knees him in the head. Brayshaw's just lying on the ground holding his head. I'm like, oh my God, that is not a good moment. Such a mature win. They get on a plane. They come home now. Who the Dockers got next week?
The Dockers have
North at Optus. And it's a North home game. This is why we love the Dockers.
They're going to buy next week.
Bye, then it's North
Buy the North.
at Optus. Like, this is why we were all in on the Dockers in the offseason. Now they get North Melbourne in Perth off a bye, and it's North's home game. Who do they have after that? They probably have, then it's Essendon at Optus, St Kilda at Optus. They play 3 games in a row at Optus Stadium. Like, they're going to go, they've won 3 in a row. They're going to win the next 3. They're going to be in a 6-game win streak. Going into the Swans at the SCG, then Hawthorn at Optus. That's going to be an 8-game win streak, then playing the Pies on the G. Like, this is the Dockers we bought in on.
Yep, they're going to want to get that one back. Yeah, as you said, Jeb, Bailey Humphrey had that 60-metre pass to Mac Andrews, who they put forward, which was the move. Put him there, try and get him to compete. But after that, as you said, pretty sure there's 4 minutes left on the clock. But there was so many moments in that section. It was played in the middle of the ground, and they couldn't win it. And Brayshaw just went that little bit harder.
Yeah.
And I know he sort of got pushed, but he put himself in that situation, got the free kick. They end up getting it forward. Shy Bolton pushed out, and then Jai Miss just finished off the game. It was a good, tough game.
This is good for the Suns as well. It's not the worst loss for the Suns. Like, the Suns need to be on every week.
Well, the Suns were in this position, and they got that win against Adelaide at home. Remember, it was a toss of the coin, that game. Different conditions, but it came down to a few contests, and they end up winning. They just went a little bit tougher, a little bit longer. Freo just got it done. So, as I said, Dimmer will be filthy at that first quarter, but they end up, clawing it back. It's not the worst loss, as you said. It's against a good side, and you just got to keep stacking the wins where you can. So, the best of the best odds, Jeb, Bolton for 3 was 650. Big Paddy Voss for 3 was 1050, which is good. If you're a big key forward for anything for 2 or 3 goals, if you're near $10, if you like him, like him, a Shannon Neal, like
especially stop betting on Josh Tracy. He plays centre forward now. He's up and down the ground. He barely kicks goals. Pat Voss is their goal kicker. The market's going to catch up on that one quickly for sure.
Flanders for 3 goals is $11, which is pretty short for a guy.
So short, considering he doesn't get the ball
everywhere. But he's a gun. Jed Walter for 2 was $3.30. Noah Anderson had 39, but for 35 was $6.50. Brayshaw for 30 was $2.10. Jordan Clark for 30 was $6. Rioli for 25 was $3.80. Luke Jackson for 25 was $6, and Matt Rao for 25 was $2.60. So there was money to be made. You multi a few of those up, you're off to the races.
All right, let's move on. Go to Sydney. The Giants, they come back from the clouds to just steal the game by 3 points. It was the weirdest comeback win ever because unfortunately, it looks like Callum Ward's 100% done his ACL. It was so sad. And you saw him after the game. They were just relieved they came back and won and got the 4 points. They found out the Callum Ward news and they were just sort of deflated. They're like, fucking hell. They barely sang the song. Toby Green was borderline crying walking off the ground. So Jesse Hogan didn't get a kick. It's one of those ones like, I love the Giants, but you need to handle business against the Tigers here. We'll give the Tigers some love. And you can give the Tigers love because you were loving what you were saying. But like, I'm glad they came back and they looked good in the last quarter and you could see they were like, no, we're not taking no for an answer. They kicked 5 goals, 2 in the last 2, 1 point. So like that's still takes a good team to do that. Richmond were trying to save the game a little too much, so they had to get it done, but they didn't play well enough. You can talk about the Tigers, Das.
Dev, there's parking the bus and there's parking the bus. They just needed 1 score in the last quarter. 1 score. They did everything in this game but win. They literally did everything right. The last quarter was just, they only scored the 1 point. It's like they just forgot how to move the ball forward. The message had to be, whether they were just super gassed, but it had to be, boys, just keep going forward. At least for the next 10 minutes. The first 10, 15, if they score a couple, which they might because they're going to go hard, the Giants. They're going to try and get a run on. But we have to match that. We have to just get 1 back to ledger the score. And they couldn't. They only kicked the 1 point. They were holding it, chipping around. We're like, fuck, there's 8 minutes to go. The Giants still need 3 goals, but they just could not hold them off. So, yeah, they were in full park the bus mode. There's a few players we want to have a look at, Jev. Sims, the big fella. What's his name? What's his first name?
Tom, isn't it?
Tommy Sims. So he missed a few snags.
Do you reckon they call him Johnny Sins?
Yeah, nice. That's a good
As
one.
soon as you said it, Tommy Sins, I'm like, ooh.
But you got him, Steely Green, just these young guys, Seth Campbell,
Yes.
they were just outrunning them. And they did not care who they were. Tim Taranto set the tone.
Yep.
He kicked 2 goals. Tim is an absolute warrior. I hope whenever he retires, people just know him as just a warrior.
Warrior.
He is. He's a Gary Ayres medalist, one of the best players in the final series when the Giants made the grand final and lost to the Tigers. Hopper came to the party.
Yep.
Prestia came to the party.
Prestia was great in his return game. Fucking good on him. Dion Prestia. What do you have? 31-1. He hasn't played in fucking 6. He hasn't played since last year's first game of the year. It's 31-1. He was great.
Shows how good. And you know who else was so good? Lynch.
Yes, he's a gun. He's the difference between like winning and losing. He's a fucking gun.
He gave Sam Taylor the business, and he was letting him know about it.
Noah Bolter plays, they probably win. Like, if Noah Bolter wasn't in curfew eating cereal at home, they probably win. But it's a good game for the Tigers to lose. Everyone knows they're playing great footy. Looks like Adam Uze's the guy. It looks like they've got the Monday to Friday down pat at the moment. The way they train, their veterans, their game planning, it looks like they've got their building in order. They've just got young kids that just need to keep playing footy. And they've just got the right guys in the right spot. So super happy for them. Das, I was speaking to some of my mates at footy who are Richmond supporters. Kid we haven't even seen yet. Well, there's 2 kids we haven't seen yet. So Layla goes pick 1. Josh Smiley goes pick 7, who could have gone pick 1.
Pick 1.
And then Taj Houghton. So where I'm from, Parky Vultures, we're affiliated with Sandy Dragons, or kids that play Parky play for Sandy. The captain of Sandy Dragons last year played at Parky as well, the ruckman. You ask him, who's the best player at Sandy Dragons? He goes, Taj Houghton by an absolute mile. Like, would have gone pick 5 if he didn't do his knee, went pick 11 or pick 12 to the Tigers. He's about 3 weeks away, apparently, from his ACL recovery. Might play a couple of games. You might see him at the end of the year. Apparently, he's the one, Das. Like, the one. So they've still got Smiley. They've still got Houghton to come in. Layla's recovering from the hammy. They've got North Melbourne's first pick. Like, you can't not be excited about the Tigers.
I was chatting to a Tigers supporter after the game as well, and that was shattered. They're just like, I said,
don't worry about it.
Show that you can win and then lose. Yeah. Just for the next 2 years. Literally, show you can win, lose. And as you guys come up, as I said, they've nailed this draft.
Yeah.
Like, they've gotten every single one of them are going to be good.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to hold on to everyone. And in a couple of years, if one wants to go, good. I want 2 first-rounders for him. You get more talent in, especially while Tassie are there. You know what else you do? As you start to rise, it's not like you're, unfortunately, a North Melbourne St Kilda. Who wouldn't want to go play for Richmond?
Yep.
On an up-and-coming Richmond side. You know when you're good, you know they're going to show out. 80,000 every week. You know when they're good, they get a good schedule. They get 17 games in Melbourne a year.
Yep.
Why would you not want to come play for Richmond?
Play Friday night in front of 80,000 Richmond supporters.
I'm dead set. Like, I was thinking, and I was chatting to him, I'm like, you're in a better spot than Carlton are.
Yeah. Remember, I said a couple of weeks, the Tigers are better than the Swans. They're 100% better than the Swans. And we're going to get to guess the Lions later, or it's going to be a separate pod. You and me are going next week to the MCG at 1:20 on Saturday. The Tigers are better than the Swans. I don't know what the line is, and I can't wait to look at
a guess. Yeah.
No, we'll guess later, but what the fuck? They're so much better. They're better than the Blues. Like, they're better than Port Adelaide. They've flown past all these teams. So, yeah, it's bloody impressive. The Giants asked, what the hell's going on with Jesse Hogan? I'm so happy for Cadman and his development. He's starting to look like the guy a bit, don't you reckon? Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's like he looked over, he goes, Jesse Hogan doesn't have it tonight. Fuck, I'll sort it out. Took over in that last quarter. I love Callum Brown. Tobes was a bit up and down. He played all right, not great. Nathan Broad's a good matchup for Toby Green because he's a little bit taller, just as fast, just as strong. So he's a good matchup for him. Tom Green had to just dig in. Lockie Whitfield had to dig in. Lockie Ash had to dig in. They were getting a bit of a bath by Taranto and Hopper and Prestia. So, yeah, they got it done. What's going on with Jesse Hogan? Like, what's going on? Is he a bit sore still? Is his thumb still bothering him? Is his knee? Is his shin? What is it?
when you look at the entries. There's a heap that are over his head.
Yeah,
There's a
he
heap
was
where
cracking the shits yesterday. He had a mark and Cal Brown jumped over the top in the last quarter. He can't help his body language, can he?
Nah,
Cracks the
he
sad.
wears his heart on his sleeve. But I think if you go look back at the last couple of weeks, go look at the ball entries. There's not many leading lanes. There's not many where he's coming out on it. Fuck all one-on-ones. So the entry's been a bit shit, and then they go to Cabin, they go to Riccardi, and then you're not getting your hands on it. I think he has to get a few early. Go back and look at the game where he kicked 9 or when he kicked 6, and everything is just he's got the space. He's got space in front of him, and he can work. He just hasn't been able to work the last few weeks. And the Giants were under so much pressure the whole game. It was dirty ball. And the Tigers, as we said, like cannot give them more flowers enough. But the Giants, like, look, it's another win, but they've really got to sharpen up. They've really got to sharpen up because what we saw in opening round against the Pies were like, this is going to be the best team in the comp. I know Finn's going to be out for another couple of weeks, but it wasn't a pretty game. But like, if they lost this game,
then they're out of the 8. The Dogs are going to come in front of them. Like, they're the ones in trouble. So they're lucky they won. Like, winning's what matters right now, but they've got to start playing better. Das Lear is fucking jacked.
He's huge.
He is. You seen the size he's put on in the offseason?
Yes.
His biceps and shoulders. Oh, my God, I was impressed at his rig. So I absolutely love him. I'm so glad he's playing every week. I'd love him at the Swans.
Yeah. Is he gettable? He's out of contract, didn't he?
No, like, I think the Saints are going to give him like $1 million a year or something.
Yeah, sweet.
I would love him, but yeah, good on him. You got some odds.
Yeah, Callum Brown for 3 goals was $3.90. Steely Green for 2 goals was $5. Aaron Cadman for 2 was $1.87. I know it's short, but if you are building a multi, he's starting to look a little bit more confident.
Yeah, I love
and
Callum
I would
Brown.
be more confident backing him in. Lynch for 2 goals was $2.15, which is great for a key forward. Yep. Riccardi for 2 was $2.05. Tim Taranto for 2 was $8.50. Prestia for a snag was $3.30. Kieran Briggs for a snag was $3.60. And Hopper for a snag was $3.70. Lockie Ash for 35 was $4.10. Prestia for 30, he had 31, was $7. Green, Hopper, Whitfield, and were all like $1 something. Iden for 25 was $4.75. And Sam Banks for 25 was $2.60. So he got a fair bit of it as well.
Money to be made. We didn't win a multi, of course, because we bet on Jesse Hogan too much.
So let's get into the next game, Jev. This was, I know I've said it about 4 or 5 times, it's the theme of the show. Belt to ass. Blues have had a few bad losses this year, and that's fine. But this was a rollover. Have you seen that video that's circulating about the dog, the big dog that comes into the yard, and the other dog just cowers and rolls over? That was you. That was the Swans last night. This is at home. You had a pretty big crowd there, and we put on a heap of bets. Who's going to touch the ball? Who's going to touch the ball? Who's going to dominate for the Crows? Who's going to dominate for the Swans? Well, no one dominated for the Swans. And you look at the touches, not many people for Adelaide had to touch it. It was minimal, get the ball, maximum impact. Everyone got a lick of the ice cream. This was as weak a performance as I've ever seen. You had you guys against Port Adelaide last year, which was a blip, and we're like, this will never happen again. It just happened again. They could have won by 120 and they took the foot off the gas. What do you have to say? Is it the funeral? Are we putting him to bed? The snooze time Swans. I know we gave shit to the Origin on the weekend. I was thinking, do we just repost that video, how AFL fans watch the Swans? Oh. And are they just a snooze fest?
They run it straight. They get tackled. Fuck. That was fucked. That was disgraceful. We are fucking shit ass. And I'm just watching it. It's just the players have no idea what they're doing out there. No idea. And I do not give a fuck whose cage this rattled. I'm picking up the fucking phone and I'm going, Horse, how's your year off been? Are you refreshed? Are you feeling good, better? The job's fucking yours when you want it. We are firing Dean Cox tomorrow. Come back and coach us, Horse. Dean Cox doesn't have the players, Das. I don't know what it is. He does not have the players. What the fuck has happened to Nick Blakey? Like, what is going? He had like 12 touches. He was the best halfback in the comp by an absolute mile last year. One of the best players in the comp, all Australian. He can't get near it at the moment.
You know why? I don't care. They're just playing him deep.
Yes. What is going on?
Get him up the ground. Every time I look, he's deep, trying to hold on to someone, taking kickouts, not coming up the ground.
Yes.
Let him fucking go. Uncage him.
This was embarrassing. And no,
Yeah.
I want to give so much credit to the Crows. I can finally see it now. Like, I was so impressed. I'm just looking at it, and I know people hate when I do this, but I'm just looking at them like they're the 2024 Swans. In like, Dawson is Heaney right now. Rankin is Chad Warner. Everyone's playing career best footy. They kick goals from everywhere. Fogarty, Thilthorpe, Rochelle, Keys, Dawson pitches in. Rankin pitches in from the midfield.
The halfbackers. Everyone's kicking goals.
Everyone's kicking goals. They set up the ground. They put pressure on. Neil Bullen turns you over. They take an intercept mark, and they just overwhelm you and overwhelm. I was so impressed. And how long a year is in football. The last time they went to the SCG was the last round of the year or like 2 games to go in the year when the Swans secured the minor premiership. It was the game Josh Rochelle got omitted. Remember, he got dropped at the end of last year. They said he's not living up to the Crows standards. And then the other time was when Joel Amati kicked 9 on Mark Keane. Then now every Adelaide player is playing at the top of their game. They're out of their skin. Josh Rochelle just looks happy. He was pissing me off last night. That 50-meter penalty he got where he snapped his head back pissed me off. But if you're a Crows supporter, you love it. He looks happy. He looks like he knows his role. He looks like he's going to have an impact on every game. He doesn't go missing anymore. It might take him a while, but he has his 4 or 5 moments. Mark Keane takes 9 intercept marks last night. Jordan Dawson has one of his quieter games. It doesn't matter because they're just turning him over. It's Soligo. It's Neil Bullen. It's whoever you want. It's Josh Worrell, it's Michael Laney, it's all these guys. They've just all lifted, and you were talking about it all preseason. Like, man, Adelaide on the Insta are posting all these photos of that they just didn't go away and they're already training, and they're all fucking shredded. Jacked. They're all shredded. They're jacked. Now it's starting to come. Look at them. They're all in career best. Tex is the only one I'm questioning. Is he in their best? Like their absolute best side. They're playing Dan Curtin just on a wing. Gasline couldn't stop talking about him last night, but what a luxury to have a 200-centimetre kid or 196 just playing on a wing, learning football, getting games under his belt. Sits at the back of contests. He goes and takes intercept marks. He sneaks forward. He puts his head over the ball. Like, Sid Draper comes on for Riley Thilthorpe because Thilthorpe's job's done. Like, they were so impressive. The other thing about the Swans is Heaney is still having an amazing year. He's playing great football. They're wasting an absolute prime Heaney here. And I'm not saying Isaac Heaney is Gary Ablett Jr., but this is what Gary Ablett must have felt like at the Suns when he's at the peak of his fucking powers and they're just shit around him. I'm watching, and like, teams have figured out Chad a little bit in the way of the Swans aren't going to beat us. Put 2 on Chad, like one standing next to him, then the sweeper's in his way when he wants to burst out of a stoppage. I was watching, they were giving him no room last night. They frustrate him. He does crack the shits a bit, shows his emotions. Heaney's still playing well. The rest of the team are playing dog shit. Like, I don't even know who's playing well. So I'm just so flat. And now I want to see Errol play, but it's like, do we just not even bring him back? I want to see Papley play. Do we not even bring him back? Like, is it the waste of a season? We bring him back, but Dean Cox is coach for his job. So if Errol's fit, he picks him because he needs to keep his job and win some football games. So, yeah, it's fucking crazy. It is crazy. I've never seen a Swans team just lay down like that when, season's still on the line. Like, you need to win these games. Port Adelaide last year, yes, we lost by 120 points. We laid down when the game was over, but we're still 4 games clear on top. Like, didn't change anything. Season's on the line for us, and we just got pumped.
Is Taylor Adams watching tape or is he just selling properties?
He's doing nothing.
Would you rather Malikan in the side or a Pelican?
No, I don't mind Malikan. I can cop Malikan.
Is Hayden McLean going to change his name to Hayden McLean to Hayden McDirty?
Oh, fuck.
Would you rather Riley Bias or just a bowl of fried rice out there?
Yes, the bowl of fried rice. He's the fucking one that has to play 2s this week. He has to play fucking 2s. I'm off him.
Joel Hamley's playing like a ham that's been outside for a month. It's just off.
Ham lingering. He's a ham lingering around.
It was dirty. Like, you're watching, and as you said, I agree. I think Heaney's still playing good footy. He was trying, and especially there was a couple times in the middle where he just got overrun by Rankin, couldn't catch him.
Yeah.
And he had that one where he went to tackle Rankin, his shoulder rolled him and then got the ball to Neil Bull and they kicked the goal.
Wow, that was impressive by Isaac Rankin. Everything about the Crows. Isaac, their recruits, Peatling, Cumming, and Neil Bullen. Like, they're role players. They're known, they're no names. They're just guys that fit in the cog to make your superstars better, and they looked great last night.
Well, this is what we said to Cummings, as you mentioned before, about how fit they looked. I didn't see any other side take photos with their shirts off. And my theory is on that because you get someone like Kane Corn, someone in the media, and they're like, skin folds. Look at these guys. They're out of shape. Adelaide would have just been like, yep, let's go. All of them looked shredded. They looked lean.
I don't think they went away.
We spoke to Isaac Cumming at Gather Round. We had a few beers with him. And we're just like, what's the stand like? He's like, mate, it's been like incredible.
He said they take the weight room so seriously.
Yeah. All the boys are pushing weights. They're like, everyone's always doing their stretches after the game. Because I listen to the press conference and stuff. And they're all stretching. All with the bands. They're all doing their stretches. And they just look like a team that's finally got it going. And as well, it's always about health. Health's on your side. And they're a team that pretty much has everyone in the side at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got everyone rolling. Everyone's fit. Like, you look at you guys last year. You had a great bill of health. You're able to go on with it. And you look at you guys this year. And I definitely do think, like, if you have your best players in there, it's still a different story. But the way that you guys are playing, you guys are so down on confidence.
They have no idea what they're doing out there, do they?
It does not look good. But if you look at it as a team performance, like, this is pure. I know it's a small ground. Neil Bullen had 25. Worrell had 24. Mark Heane had 23. And then we just go to, it's 20s and 15s.
Yes.
Coming at 21. Peatling 21. Dawson 21. Rangan had 18. Keys 17. Smith 17. Malira 17. Dan Curtin 16. Berry 16. Saligo 15. Phil Thorpe 14. Rochelle 13. Hinge 13. Riley O'Brien 13. Not much of it. But it's maximum damage. It's
every single one of them played a B+ game. Like, they just all played a B+ game, and it ended into an A game as a team. I'm just like, Brisbane on grand final day, Melbourne last week, and Adelaide played like a perfect football game against the Swans. Like, one of those ones when they turn on the tape, they're like, this is perfect. This is perfect. Like, we haven't muddied up the waters or made it hard in the slightest. We're letting teams play to perfection against us. Like, everyone's cooking. They're out coaching us. Like, it is so fucked. It's doing my head in. But anyway, they are so bad, the Swans. We're going next week to the MCG. If we lose to the fucking Tigers again, I'm going to cry. You're going to see me crying at the G.
I just got to make one thing before I get into the odd. Rampy's been great for the club. Played in 4 grand finals. He's done, Jev.
Yeah.
He was giving away free kicks. There was one last night where he was with Ben Keys. Ben Keys went up. He sort of wanted to stand his mark because he didn't want to run anymore. It was the over the top vision that Geordie Lewis would have necked himself on. And Ben Keys kept running. He kept working, and he kicked another goal.
Yeah.
He 3 on the night, and you just look at him, he's just like, they're all lost.
Yeah.
Can he get dropped?
Not unless Robbie Fox is fit.
Yeah, true. You just don't have anyone to bring back in.
We don't have people to bring in. Callum Mills comes back next week. Marty's still fucking suspended. Errol's probably after the bye. I don't know what's going on with Papley, but like, it's all for nothing this year. But it's a show. Yeah, you're going to find out. Say Errol and Tom Papley and Amadi and Mills, they start playing games after the bye, and you're going to find out if they start winning games, means they're in for Dean Cox. And it's like, they won 6 of their last 8 to finish the season, missed the 8, this and that. That you could finally see Dean Cox's game plan. If they still don't win when their players come back in the side, he has to be fired. He doesn't have the players. Like, he cannot be our coach in 2026.
He looked absolutely fucking defeated.
Can we give Josh Rochelle a bit of love for that through ball to Ben Keys? How cool is that? Like, I've watched the replay 100 times. That's a bloke on confidence. Rochelle shits me, but the way he just put it outside of the boot in front of him, and Keys at 1,000,000 miles an hour, just picked it up, run, finished it. You're like, that is Showtime Crows. Good on him. Like, you want to see something like that in the middle of the MCG grand final day, or Adelaide Oval in a final, a prelim final. So good on him. They're in the 4 now. how badly do you want to play football for Jordan Dawson? Like, I love him, and I would
the best.
love him as my captain. He just looks like a leader you want to play footy for. At halftime, he got him in. They had just kicked 12 goals in a row, walked him off as a team. Like, I just want to play for him. I absolutely love him.
Kingy got the Fox lab out, and they made it check. It was onside.
Yes, I did see that. It was
They
good.
put the line. That was cool.
That
So
was very
Rochelle for
good.
3 was $5. My man Ben Keys for 3 was $8. Fogarty for $2.77. Hayden McDirty had a dirty night. McLean 2 snags, $2.05. Isaac Cumming for 2 snags was, I got that wrong. So I only wrote $1.63. I'll get back to you after this. Thilthorpe, I got that mixed up. So Cummings for 2 was $11.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Brody Smith for a snag was $3.30. Wayne Miller for a snag, $5.75. McInerney for 27 was $2.65. Alex Nilbullen for 25 was $13. Grundy for 20 was $2.65. And Mark Keane for 20 was $5.75. So we've almost gone an hour and we've only got 5 games down.
We are not doing West Coast Geelong because that starts at 7:20 Vic time. We are not staying up. We will kill Morgs if we stay up and do that game. So the Saints have just beaten the D's in a great win by 28 points. The D's have let Nasai Wanganeen-Malira just run around on his own, and he absolutely torched them. And they've just kicked themselves out of a win, kicking 7 goals, 21. It was hard to watch how much they were missing. Das, talk to me.
Yeah, this was a stinker. This is what happened. So you've got the home field advantage. It's so similar to what happened almost like if you're not quite the Richmond game because they couldn't hold on. But you look at Freo Gold Coast, you just think they've got the home field advantage. They play up here a little bit more. They're in a bit more form. And the Saints just come out and jump them. Like this is what I would expect if they were at Marvel. I thought Melbourne were a lock. Do you have what they were paying? What Melbourne were paying head to head?
Yeah, I will. Yeah,
that would have been like $1.30 or something, surely.
Yeah.
The way they were playing the last few weeks, and we're like, Petrarca's going to dominate, Cozzy's going to dominate.
$1.50 to $2.65, minus 12.5 points.
Did
Favorites.
Cozzy even have a kick? I genuinely watched the entire game, and I actually didn't see him have a kick. What was happening? So this is the game, Jev. When you have a team of players that look like they drive forklifts, go to an oval that looks like where forklift drivers would play, and they're going to dominate. All the average guys for St Kilda. What's his name? Boxall, Carroll.
Hugo Boxall.
All of them, Jev. All the just no names just stood up and just had themselves a game. Jack Higgins got onto one at the end, Maxie Hall, but it's all about Dan Butler. He should have been All-Australian in 2020 in the COVID year. And they put, it was like Dangerfield at forward pocket or whatever, which is fair enough. Danger's the man. You got to find a spot for him. But he was the best small forward in that time. And it's so good to see him back, Jeff. He kicked 4 sausages. I can't wait to hear what he paid. But Melbourne will be kicking themselves. They were like the informed team of the comp. They were just winning, awesome performance against the line, smack the Swans, and it's just like, here they come. And they just laid an egg. They left it so many points out on the board. They kick shit. They would be so disappointed. I know a few Saints fans, Bally especially, I know we always talk about Bally. He's like, this could be a long day. This could be a long, long day. And they just jumped him. And they just went on with it. And Jared Healy kept saying throughout the game, he's like, this would have to be Melbourne's lowest pressure game ever. He's like, they're not putting on any pressure. And I think it was their 3rd ever recorded, like 3rd worst of all time. So, yeah, it was a snooze fest. Like we think about the Sunday 3:20 game. It's usually a cracker. You had 2 really good teams. That game sucked. That was so bad. It was almost, Jeff, it was almost worse than my dinner.
Go roast yourself.
I'm going to roast myself, cleaning out the fridge, and I made myself a cheesy, creamy pasta with fish fingers. It was so bad. I've got crook guts. It was.
We're going to wrap this pod up soon because Dar's about to shit himself. Oh, yeah, just watching it like, and as Jared Healy was touching on, they were letting the Saints play like kick-to-kick circle work. Then they were eventually getting the ball back, going forward with it or winning the contest, and then missing 7. And Jared goes, and they're in front on expected score, but unfortunately we don't go off expected score. We play the game. And they were just missing. It was so hard to watch. Saints get it done. It's not a game that we're probably ever going to see a replay of Fox Footy on.
No.
It wasn't great. The it looked like a great day to play footy. It looked beautiful up in Alice Springs. It looked sunny. It looked hot. The ground looked in good nick. That Fox footy shot where they kept showing that big mountain in the background looked awesome.
Yeah.
Dust, you reckon there? I reckon Saints supporters would say no. I'm trying to think. Is there 10 players clearly better than Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira right now? He is a fucking gun. It's probably 10. I wouldn't say there's 15. I think he's in the top 15 players in the comp for sure. He's an absolute star. And Melbourne just decided not to put anyone to. I think he had 16 touches in the last quarter or 14 touches or something in the last quarter. And he was just torching them. Like, I'm going his last quarter, 15 disposals, 15 kicks. Like, what a quarter. I can get his meters gained and everything here.
Well, we said
400 meters gained in a quarter, 2 score involvements. How many? You have any turnovers?
probably not.
1 turnover. Like, just
Crazy.
you cannot let him run around on his own. He gets those big high knees running. He's impossible to tackle, and he's a beautiful kick of the footy. He's fast as lightning. He's such a prototype of just a gun footballer. I absolutely love him. Absolutely love him. Saint supporters would not want to lose him at all. And they'd probably rather him than Zach Butters. You would not do that straight swap anymore. And not saying Port would want to lose Zach Butters either. They'd probably rather him than Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira. It's like one of those ones we just want to keep our guys. But, geez, he's a good player.
Well, we kept saying it's like he's probably the most sought-after signature the St Kilda have had in 40 years. He's the number one you want to side. But you kept saying how Melbourne kept missing, Jev. They kept missing. You know who else missed? Aiden Johnson. If you're going to smack Nas, get him out of the game.
Yeah,
crunch him. Enough. Nas got straight back up. He did the HIA. He's good to go. And he comes out and torches you. He's probably still going to miss weeks because he left the ground. Actually, no, he'll probably get cleared. But, yeah, what is it with Melbourne? What is it with this season?
Yeah.
The only team that has been super consistent is Collingwood.
Yeah.
They're the only ones you can be like, this is them every single week.
This is their brand, and it rocks up every week, like their travels. What is more impressive, Uluru or the G-Wow? What is the G-Wow? The Great Wall of Wilkie. He's an impressive man. They were talking. I heard Windhager after the game just saying, he's our rock back there. He just sets up in the middle of that back six. We rely on him so much, and he delivers. 31 touches for a full back. 31 touches. Gave Aiden Johnson a bath.
Gave him the business. He gave him his business card.
1 turnover, 22 kicks, 9 contested possessions, couple of score involvements. How many intercept marks he had? I think he had 10 intercept possessions or something and 5 intercept marks, something like that. He's just a gun.
What about
29-year-old key defender? He's a fucking brick wall. Good on him. Him and Nas are the future.
Isaac Keeler, he came in. He was the one when he had his first game a few weeks ago. He could not stop cramping. He could not stop cramping. So in the hot weather, he's obviously done a little bit more running. So he kicked the 3 goals. But what I want to know, Jev, when you look at – because there's been such a sample size over the last 3 years where Max King hasn't been there.
Yeah.
He hasn't been there, and they feed other mouths, and they just find a way, the Saints. Because he's been gone for so long, do they just trade Max King and just see what they get for him and then try and get some more midfield talent in? Do it? Because it seems like he's practically not there.
Yeah,
and you could get a fair bit for him. So many teams would still bank off, hey, he's got awesome potential, heaps of clubs on him. You'd love him.
I'd be a sucker for him. If he was on the trade market, I'm like, yes. Get him to Sydney, 100%. I would be a sucker for him. So it's a great call. But they'd want Chad in return or Errol in return, and we'd want to keep after our 3 midfielders. We don't want to give any. You can have Ollie Florin and bloody.
It'd be your future. It'd be like with Tassie coming in. We want more picks. We want more high end picks and something that we can secure some high end talent. So it just they're still stuck in the middle. They're stuck in the middle.
But because they'll convince themselves, righto, this year, Nass's top 10 player in the comp. Wilkie's still a gun. We get Max King in the side. Jack Higgins is as good as any small forward in the comp. Max King players were good enough, but we all know they lack a midfielder unless they can get Zach Butters or Harley Reid or Zach Merritt or who knows what. Maybe they can get Sam Walsh out of the Blues. I don't know, but Yeah, it's a bit tough because you look at the teams above them; they're just so much better than them. Midfielders are so much better.
Is this the year, hopefully, like everyone knows how good Nas is, but at the end of the year when it's Brownlow time, when they set their over-under, is this the one that we just take his over no matter what and just feel that the umpires at the ground when they're there, they just notice how game-breaking he is, how his kicking is. So if it's like 17, like, fuck, we'll just take him for 18 above. Like, he might be one of those players, like Wilkie has a belter today, but like other players have good games.
Yeah.
But he just stands out.
Yeah.
I can, no matter where it is, $1.90, we just take the over and just hope that the umpires appreciate how much he does. Because it stands out so much. We've seen a couple of Saints games live. When we watched them versus the Giants, we're like, look at the size of him.
Yeah. He's a big dude. Yeah.
He's huge.
So true.
Do you have any odds in this one?
Yes, I do. So for 4 goals, has Dan Butler just been in the twos? Has he been playing? I just haven't been noticing him. Nah. Dan Butler was 46-1 for 4. Did anyone have a slice of that? Isaac Keeler was 13 for 3. Track was $2.40 for 2. Max Hall was $6 for 2. Brad Hill was $4.20 for 1. Toby Travalia was $3.25 for 1. Cal Wilkie couldn't get him for 30, which annoys me. He was $6 for 25. Nas was $1.20 for 25. Jack Sinclair was $1.29 for 25. Brad Hill $3 for 25. Marcus Windhager $3.80 for 25. And Ryan Burns $2.60 for 20. So yeah, good game. Shit game. Good odds. Good on the Saints. They probably just ended Melbourne's season. The other teams are too far ahead of them now. Like, I know there's a lot of footy to play, but whose spot are they taking? Like, the Dogs are outside looking in, and they're way better than the D's, in my opinion.
We're so cooked, the Blues.
Yeah, you're on 16 points. You're so far behind.
So are we. So are you.
Yes. So we're gone, and we're on 85%. We're gone.
All right, that is the Sunday roast. Jev, short and sweet. We've got a few teams out. Next week, we're almost back to a full slate. Only 2 teams have the bye next week. We'll be a little bit longer. We're not sure exactly how we're going to do it because we do have the Queen's birthday game on Monday. So whether we just do a full Sunday roast on the Sunday and then we do a quick review on the Monday, we'll figure that out when we get to it. But thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and let's go.
Give them a word to say if they made it to the end of the roast.
Fuck. What do you call it? Great Wall of Wilkie? What's it called?
Yeah, the G-Wow.
Yeah, G-Wow.
Probably G-Wow made it to the end of the roast. Cheers.
What are you prepared to lose today? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.